"My generation needs our voice," Taylor Swift told Rolling Stone. "Prince is legend, but too abstract. I play 3 chords and truth. That's harder." Prince read the article, smiled, and invited the 14-year-old to Staples Center. What happened next wasn't a lesson in guitar technique or songwriting craft. It was proof that great art has no generation, that clarity and mystery are both courage, and that the only thing harder than playing 3 chords with truth is playing 3 chords with 30 years of earned simplicity. But Prince didn't sit down with acoustic guitar to prove Taylor wrong. He did it to prove she was right, and then show her that being right about clarity didn't mean being wrong about needing depth. February 2004. Rolling Stone's Next Generation feature spread across glossy pages. Teen artists photographed with instruments, talking about the future of music. Taylor Swift, 14, rising country star. Prince is legend, total respect. But my generation needs clear stories, breakups at school, first love. Prince sings about purple rain, doves crying, poetic but abstract. We need relatable. What about his guitar? Prince plays solos, flashy, fast, but I play guitar to tell stories. 3 chords and truth, that's harder. Can he do simple and still make people feel? Headlines: Taylor Swift, Prince too abstract for young generation. March 2004, Paisley Park Studios. Prince sitting in his purple chair, the Rolling Stone spread open on his lap, that enigmatic smile appearing as he read Taylor's comments. Taylor Swift said your music is too abstract. Prince smiled. 14 years old. Tim McGraw. Good song. She's right. Every generation needs their voice. Wrong about one thing. Good music has no generation. Timeless is timeless. Invite her. Staples Show, March 20th. Tell her bring her guitar. Taylor thought simple was harder than complex. Prince was about to prove that choosing simplicity after mastering complexity is what makes simple profound. Staples Center, March 20th, 2004. 18,000 tickets sold. Musicology tour. VIP section. Taylor Swift, 14, with parents. Acoustic guitar case beside her. 8 p.m. The lights cut. Musicology exploded from the speakers. Then, Call My Name. Then, Cream, Prince in full performance mode, guitar solos that made the instrument scream, complex arrangements layered like architecture, sophisticated production that made every seat feel front row. Taylor watched, impressed. He's incredible, but still flashy. Not how my generation connects. Alicia Keys, 23, sat 3 rows behind. Also invited. Curious why a 14-year-old received VIP treatment. 8:50 p.m. Diamonds and Pearls finished. Prince scanned VIP section. Found Taylor. Ladies and gentlemen, we have a young star tonight. Taylor Swift, 14 years old. Country singer-songwriter. The future. Taylor stood. Shy wave. Taylor, last month you said my music is abstract. You were right. Purple rain, doves crying, poetic. Your music is clear. Real-life stories. Relatable. Taylor relaxed. Yeah. Respectfully. You said I play flashy guitar, but you tell stories. 3 chords and truth. Prince smiled. Let me show you something. Come up here. Bring your guitar. The crowd expected Prince to demonstrate his usual virtuosity. But what he was about to do would prove that mastery isn't about showing everything you can do. It's about choosing exactly what you should do. Taylor walked to the stage, guitar case in hand, heart pounding. 18,000 people watched with protective curiosity. She was 14. Everyone wanted this to go well for her. Prince helped her up the stairs, gesture almost fatherly. A stool appeared center stage. Simple spotlight. Play something for us, Prince said gently. Your style. Simple. True. Taylor sat on the stool, removed her acoustic guitar from the case. Natural wood finish, well used, comfortable in her hands. She positioned her fingers. G chord, D chord, M chord, C chord. The progression every guitarist learns first, the foundation of countless songs. She took a breath and began singing one of her narrative songs, an early work about first heartbreak, written just months ago. The story was crystal clear, told like a diary entry. A boy who promised forever at 14. Summer that ended with September. School hallway where everything changed with one ignored glance. Pain that felt permanent until it didn't. The lyrics were literal. No metaphors needed. You said you'd call. You never did. I waited by the phone. Just a kid. Her voice carried genuine teenage vulnerability. Not polished perfection, real emotion that hadn't learned to hide behind technique yet. The guitar work was simple, strumming pattern, basic chord changes, nothing fancy, but it served the story, supported the words, didn't compete with the narrative. 18,000 people fell completely silent. Not bored silence, moved silence. The innocence and honesty cutting through all the sophistication they'd heard earlier. When she finished, the arena erupted. Respectful, supportive applause, acknowledging her courage and authenticity. Prince applauded too, genuine appreciation. Beautiful, honest, clear. That's a gift. Now, may I try? Taylor's face showed confusion. Try what? Simple? Your way. Prince asking permission to enter Taylor's world signaled something unprecedented. A legend choosing to prove he could honor simplicity before showing why depth matters. A stagehand appeared from the wings carrying an acoustic guitar, not electric. Not the elaborate custom instruments Prince usually commanded like weapons, just a simple acoustic, natural wood, 6 strings, no effects, no technology. Raw and honest. 18,000 people stirred with surprise. Prince. Acoustic? This is rare. Prince sat on a stool next to Taylor. 2 acoustic guitars, 2 performers. Massive stage suddenly intimate. The spotlight narrowed, creating a bubble of warmth around them. Taylor, you're right. I play flashy, solos, production. But tonight, he positioned the guitar, fingers testing the strings. Your way. Simple, he started playing. 3 chords. A, D, E. Even simpler than Taylor's progression. The most basic chord relationship in music, the first thing beginners learn. No flash, no complex finger-picking patterns, just strumming. Steady, clean, serving the song, not showcasing technique. Taylor watched, eyes wide, leaning forward. He's playing my style, but how does it sound so different? The chords were identical to what any 14-year-old could play, but the rhythm had weight earned from knowing when silence matters as much as sound. The timing had intention. Each strum landed with purpose that came from 3 decades of understanding exactly when and how to strike strings. Prince began singing, but the lyrics weren't abstract. No purple rain, no doves, no poetic imagery requiring interpretation. Clear story, loss, loneliness, hoping for connection. Words simple enough for a teenager to understand immediately. Waited for the phone to ring. You never called. Silence is the loneliest sound of all. Same theme Taylor had sung about. Heartbreak, waiting, disappointment. But Prince's voice carried something Taylor's couldn't yet hold. Decades of pain, accumulated wisdom, experience that came from living through the simple story hundreds of times in different forms. His voice broke slightly on loneliest, not performance, technique, but genuine memory surfacing. The emotion in his voice made Taylor's face crumble, tears streaming down her cheeks, catching stage light. He's telling a story, simple words, but I feel everything. How? Alicia Keys leaned forward from her seat, hands pressed together. That's what mastery looks like, choosing simplicity after earning complexity. The song continued. 3 chords, clear lyrics. But the depth in Prince's delivery transformed simple into profound, not through complexity, through lived experience expressed with discipline that knew what to emphasize and what to release. But Prince wasn't done proving that simplicity and depth weren't enemies. He was about to demonstrate that they're partners that create something more powerful than either can achieve alone. Prince continued playing the three chords, A, D, E, the simplicity remaining absolute. But something was shifting in how he used that simplicity. The vocal runs appeared, his signature technique, but deployed sparingly. A small flourish on the word loneliness that added color without overwhelming the clarity. His voice curved around the note like water, finding its path. The melody stayed simple enough for anyone to sing, but Prince's phrasing, where he breathed, where he emphasized, where he let silence speak, transformed basic notes into emotional architecture that built rooms inside listeners' hearts. His voice moved through the song like someone who'd lived every word, not performing heartbreak, remembering it, sharing it, offering it to listeners as something they could recognize in their own lives. Taylor wiped tears from her face, trying to understand what was happening. Her fingers unconsciously mirrored his chord changes on her own guitar. The chords are simple, the words are clear, but I'm feeling layers I didn't know existed. The guitar picking emerged, still within the three-chord framework, but adding subtle complexity, alternating bass notes that created momentum, small melodic fills between verses like whispered conversations, nothing that competed with the story, everything that deepened it. Alicia Keys whispered to her companion, voice hushed with reverence, "He's showing her that simple doesn't mean shallow. Simple means focused, and focus creates depth." Prince reached the bridge. His falsetto appeared, that impossibly high register he'd mastered decades ago, but instead of showing off the full range, he used it delicately, a single word in falsetto, alone. The word hung in the air like a confession. The contrast between his regular voice and falsetto created emotional texture without adding musical complexity. The technique served the feeling, not the display. 18,000 people were completely still, breathing quietly, not wanting to disturb what they were witnessing. The final verse approached. Prince looked at Taylor while singing the line, "Young voices carrying forward what we started. Don't replace us. Continue." Us. His eyes held hers. The message clear without being spoken. Generations aren't opponents. They're chapters in the same story. The song ended. Three chords, clear words, but somehow containing multitudes. 10 seconds of absolute silence. Then 18,000 people erupted. Not just applause, recognition of something sacred they'd just witnessed, but the real revolution wasn't Prince proving he could do simple. It was what he proposed next that would demonstrate clarity and mystery, needed each other to create something timeless. Have you ever dismissed someone's art because it was too complex or too simple? Prince and Taylor proved that night that mastery means honoring both clarity and depth, and the real courage is knowing when to use which. Share your thoughts below. Prince set down the acoustic guitar, turned to Taylor, who was still processing what had just happened. "Taylor, that was your style. Simple, clear, effective. Did it work?" She wiped her face, voice shaking. "Yes, that was beautiful. But how did you make three chords feel like that? 30 years of learning what to leave out. Complexity teaches you what simplicity needs." Prince paused. "Now, let's try something nobody's done before." "What?" "Let's write a song. Right now. Together. Your narrative clarity plus my abstract mystery. See what happens." Taylor's eyes widened. "Write a song? Here? In front of everyone? 18,000 witnesses. They'll watch us create something that didn't exist 10 minutes ago. Your generation's voice plus mine. Equal collaboration." The crowd buzzed with excitement. This was unprecedented. Prince offering to co-create in real time with a 14-year-old. Taylor looked at her parents in the VIP section. Her father nodding encouragement. Her mother crying already. "Okay." Taylor said, voice small but determined. Let's write a song. What happened in the next 8 minutes would prove that generational boundaries were illusions created by people who forgot that all art is conversation across time. 2 stools, 2 acoustic guitars, Prince and Taylor facing each other. 18,000 people watching creation unfold. Minutes, 03, building together. Prince started. What's the story? Your generation. What do you feel? Taylor thought carefully. Pressure? Everyone expects you to be perfect. Social media, school, future. But you're just trying to figure things out. Good. Theme. Pressure versus authenticity. Being yourself when everyone wants you to be something else. Yes, exactly. You write verse. Literal, clear, your style. I write chorus. Metaphorical, mysterious, mine. Then we see if they fit. Taylor started creating. Sang over simple chords. 16 years old with 40 years of expectations. Everyone watching, waiting for the perfect presentation. But underneath the smile, there's questions, there's doubt. Prince listened, nodded, added a chord suggestion. Try 'em there instead of am. Supports the doubt feeling. Taylor tried it. Yes, that works better. Minutes 3 to 6. The fusion Prince created his chorus. Abstract imagery over the same chord progression. Swimming in purple ocean, drowning in expectations, waves of everyone's dreams, but nobody asks what mine could be. Taylor stopped him. Wait, what does purple ocean mean? What do you think it means? She considered. Maybe feeling overwhelmed by something beautiful but scary? Like everyone's dreams for you are good intentions, but they're still drowning you? Exactly. Abstraction lets listeners find their meaning. Your verses give entry point. Clear story they understand. My chorus gives space, room for their interpretation. So they work together. My literal plus your metaphorical. Yes, neither better. Both necessary. They continued building. Taylor's second verse about trying to stay authentic. Prince's second chorus about finding solid ground under purple waves. Minutes 6 to 8. The performance. They performed the completed song. Just created. Unrehearsed. Raw. Taylor sang verses. Clear narrative about teenage pressure and authenticity. Everyone could follow the story. Picture the situations. Feel the struggle. Prince sang chorus. Abstract imagery about purple oceans and expectations. Left space for interpretation. Made listeners active participants in meaning-making. The final verse they sang together, their voices blending. Taylor's youthful clarity and Prince's seasoned mystery, creating harmony that shouldn't work but did. Young voices carry forward what was started. Old voices remember what matters. Together we're timeless, not competing, just continuing. The song ended. 18,000 people standing. Ovation lasting 15 minutes. They'd witnessed creation, watched something. Being born that would outlast that night. But the most powerful moment wasn't the applause. It was what Prince said next that would redefine how generations understood their relationship to each other. Prince spoke to the crowd while Taylor stood beside him, both still holding acoustic guitars, partners in what they'd just created. Taylor Swift said something true. Every generation needs their voice. She's 14. I'm 45. Different worlds. But music? Music has no generation. Her clarity plus my mystery equals something neither of us could create alone. He turned to Taylor. You thought old artists block new artists. I thought young artists replace old artists. Both wrong. What's the truth? Taylor asked. We need each other. Your fresh eyes see what I've stopped noticing. My old wisdom remembers what you haven't learned yet. Together, timeless. Taylor took the microphone, speaking with maturity beyond 14. Mr. Prince, I said you're too abstract. I was wrong. You're not too abstract. You're layered. My songs, everyone understands immediately. But yours, people discover new meanings years later. That's not weakness. That's depth. Tonight you showed me. Simple can be deep, and complex can be clear. It's not about one way. It's about honest way. Prince smiled. You teach me clarity is courage. I teach you mystery is gift. Both valid. Then he made the announcement that shocked everyone. Taylor, the song we just created. Purple Pressure. Let's record it. Real studio. Your voice plus mine. Release it. Taylor's face showed disbelief. You want to record with me? I'm 14. You're 14 with 40 years of soul, and I'm 45 with 14 years of wonder left. Perfect collaboration. But how does it work? Are you producing? Teaching me? No. Equal collaboration. You produce your parts. I produce mine. No mentor-student. Peers. They shook hands. 18,000 people roared approval. Backstage, 11 p.m. Taylor with parents. Why invite me? I criticized you. You told truth from your perspective. Truth deserves respect, not punishment. I showed you I can do your style. You discovered you have capacity for my depth. Can we really record it? Yes. Equal collaboration. You produce your parts, I produce mine. No mentor-student. Peers, April 2004. Purple Pressure, recorded at Paisley Park. Released as surprise single. Number 7 Billboard. 2016. Prince dies. Taylor performs tribute at Grammys. 2004, I was 14. I said Prince's time was passing. He showed me great art has no time. He didn't teach me guitar. He taught me legacy. Song became streaming number 1 for 3 weeks. 2024. Taylor documentary. Prince taught me. Don't compete with generations. Learn from them. His mystery plus my clarity equals something neither could build alone. Alicia Keys, later. Watching Prince treat 14-year-old as equal? That's respect. Age doesn't matter. Honesty matters. The acoustic guitars from that night are in Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. Plaque. March 20th, 2004. The night generations proved they needed each other. Prince didn't invite Taylor to show her she was wrong. He invited her to prove she was right about clarity, while teaching her she was also right about needing depth, creating a collaboration that honored both truths simultaneously. The bravest artists don't defend their generation. They learn from every generation. Prince, at 45, had enough confidence to honor 14-year-old Taylor's truth while showing her depths she hadn't discovered yet. Share this story with someone who thinks their way is the only way. But this wasn't the only time Prince proved that honoring someone else's perspective makes both perspectives stronger. There was another night, another collaboration, another moment when Prince showed that the greatest artists don't compete with different approaches. They fuse them into something neither could create alone. That story begins with a classical virtuoso who told Prince, "You can't blend high art with popular music." And Prince's response created a symphony that changed what both worlds thought was possible.